Hey, how are you? Welcome to Scale Model Addict. I am Scott Gervin. Thanks for tuning in. Cool. We got a lot of stuff to go through on this show. We've put together, with the help of one, two, three, quite a few guys from the forum, we got a pretty action-packed show for you today. So here's a look at what's coming up. Ake is bringing us a review of the Dragon 172 Japanese Type 95 Hago light tank. Black Sheep 1 reviews the Revell Bell H13H. Quarrelane takes a look at the Fine Molds 144 scale Millennium Falcon. Panzer Ace brings us a field report from the Virginia Museum of Military Vehicles. And Ken Abrams brings us a moment of madness featuring how he paints tires. All that, plus a little bit more, right now on SMA. The contest is officially wrapped up, and again a big thank you to all the sponsors that made that a huge success. But that doesn't mean things are over at SMA. There's still a lot of people building a lot of cool stuff right across the whole gamut of genres. So I'd like to show you a few of those builds just randomly pulled from the forum, just to give you an idea of what's going on over there. Honestly, there's more modeling activity at the site than in these videos, so be sure to visit ScaleModeladdict.com. So just sit back and take a look at some of the cool work in progress pics. Pretty cool stuff, eh? Very cool. You can check all that out at ScaleModeladdict.com/forum. And if you're not a member there, you can sign up and become one. It's that simple. I'd also like to take this time to announce a new forum on the forum. We just recently started a juniors forum on the forum. It's a lot of forums. Anyways, if you're 18 years old or under and into scale modeling, we got a place over there now just for you, and you can post aircraft, tanks, sci-fi, whatever you want to put into that forum. So check it out at ScaleModeladdict.com. We're going to get right on to the meat of things with a cool review from Ake.
It's product review time, and this time we're taking a look at Dragon's 72nd scale Japanese Type 95 Hago light tank. This is a incredibly tiny tank, but it packs an amazing amount of detail for such a small model. I've already taken them out of the plastic. You get one sprue. You get the top half of the tank, bottom of the hull. You have your styrene Dragon styrene tracks. You have a little bit of photo etch, decals, and one fairly simple instruction sheet. Let me get the camera zoomed in so you can actually see the detail on this kit. Alright, have to get zoomed in real close here so you can see the amazing amount of detail on this tiny little thing. Just check out the quality of that rivet work. This is an incredibly beautiful little kit. It's only about 3 inches long, but just look at the detail, all those rivets, all those little tiny hinges. Incredibly beautiful. Let's take a look at the sprue. You have the road wheels, which are done in pairs, makes them easier to assemble. Also, it means that it is working suspension, so you could have this tank going over rough ground if you like. And check out all the little bolt work around the edges of the wheels. And check this out, if I can get close enough with the camera. Not only do you get the bolt work around the wheel, but check out the hub. That is an incredible amount of detail on such a tiny little piece. Look at that, smaller than my fingernail. And let's look at the turret. You even get the weld lines on the turret, and it is just an incredible model. And the idler wheels, again, beautiful work. I can see no flash whatsoever on the kit. Once again, beautiful model from Dragon. They started doing a few more Japanese kits in this scale, which is a welcome surprise. You don't find too much Japanese armor out there. I'm definitely going to be picking up another one of these. Check out your local hobby store for this one. Retails for around $18 to $20. And hope you enjoyed this review.
Here's another awesome review from Black Sheep 1.
Hey everybody, Black Sheep 1 here with an inbox review of Revell's new kit, the Bell H-13H helicopter. You're probably familiar with this guy from the series MASH. This was the MASH helicopter, medevac, or also used as a gunship. And it was just released this April, so let's go to the bench, take a look what we got.
Okay, so as we open up the box, we see a bag of sprue of clear parts, which is nice that they keep it separated from the rest. We have the instructions. Instructions are pretty clear, sub-assemblies, self-explanatory. It's anybody can do this. Engine, we have the decals in here, nice and crisp. I believe it's for two types of helicopters, a medevac and a gunship. Okay, and here's the litter assembly for the for the medevac. What do we got here? Paint color schemes, the paint color call out. All in all, pretty good detailed instruction kit and nice decals. And we have the frame, nice and crisp, good plastic. I don't see any flash in these parts. We have a bag of sprues, which I believe is four sprues in the bag. Okay, a sprue of litters for the medevac, nicely crisp, no flash. I believe these are rockets. The engine and the main rotor, fuel tank, and the figure that comes included with the kit. Nice detail. Again, I don't see any flash in here. And here's the main cabin, and the back of it has nice crisp detail on it. So all in all, this kit will make a really nice build. So that is the inbox review for Revell's newest kit, Bell H-13H 2-in-1. So for ScaleModelAddict.com, this is Black Sheep 1 out.
Here's another kit review brought to you by Quarrelane.
Alright, taking a break from builds for a bit to do a quick little out-of-the-box review. What we're looking at today is the 1/144th scale Fine Molds Millennium Falcon kit. This is the much smaller of the two versions they did. We'll start with a quick look at the instructions. I'm sure there's a lot of very interesting reading here, but unfortunately I don't read kanji. We get a good look at the overall sprue layout. Looks like we've got a total of 4 sprues plus the 2 hull halves. The steps in the instructions look to be very well spelled out. Not a lot of potential confusion there. One bright side to working with the smaller kit is you don't have to do a lot of the detail pieces. But all in all, it should be relatively easy to run through. Also get a decal guide for the unusually colored panels on the ship, or the options to paint it if you go to the bottom of the same sheet. These illustrations are actually about full size for the model itself, so you're not, that's my hand across it, you're not looking at a very big model. Now, let's take a look at the chunky bits. The detail on the hull pieces, panels are all nicely engraved. Got the mounts for all 5 landing gears, which would mean this model is actually of the Falcon post the 4th movie, more the one we saw in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The top half has most of the detail in it. As you can see, well, I don't know how well it's going to show up on the camera, but a lot of the detail bits that on the larger 1/72nd scale kit you would have to actually put in place are already molded into the surface on the smaller one. Cockpit arm is a separate piece. Nice detail on the engine grill, as well as on the sidewalls. Cockpit does depict all 4 chairs that would normally be present, as well as what would be the door being recessed back to give the illusion of depth. The base is very much like the one for the larger kit, which means it should also be nice and sturdy. You get the pieces to fully detail the landing gear. The only complaint I've got with the landing gear and its setup is the fact that there are no doors for the landing gear. You get both gunwales, just enough depth to give the impression of the gunwales. And they are set up so theoretically you should be able to rotate them once you've got them installed in the kit. The clear sprue contains the gunwale windows as well as the cockpit windows. Also included in the kit is a set of pre-cut masks to use for painting it. I may just hand paint them, I'm not sure there. And then of course you get, it's a decent set of decals. Most of this is primarily for the one-off plates that would be all over the hull of the ship. Some of them do depict being slightly worn. All in all, it should build up into a pretty good model. I've actually seen some fantastic things done with it online. We'll have to see where this one goes, but for 60 bucks, I picked it up at Wonderfest in 2010 for 60 bucks. I don't know if Fine Molds is still producing the kit, but It may seem a little steep, but you do get a lot of detail for that 60 bucks.
Everybody knows Model Man Tom, right? He's kind of like the grandfather of scale modeling videos on YouTube. I guess. Kind of. More like an uncle. Anyways, Tom has started a new company called Modeler's Brand, and he is selling lighting products for scale modelers right now. He's going to be branching out into other things, but right now focusing on lighting products. He sent me a sample pack, and it's some pretty cool stuff. These are LEDs. Look at all of them. There's like 3 per inch or something. It's insane. And some of them are waterproof, some of them aren't. All different colors. So I'd like you guys to check that out. Modelersbrand.com. The link is in the underbar. He's got a YouTube channel too, which he's showing you how to set everything up. So we're building models of all of this stuff, but what about the real thing? It might be cool to see some of that. Well, what do you know? Panzer Ace 007 is bringing us this field report, kind of live whenever he recorded it, from the Museum of Virginia Historical... Oh, I got it right.
Hey guys, Panzer Ace 007 here on the field report. I am up at the VMMV, Virginia Military Museum Vehicles, or the Virginia Military Museum, or the Virginia Museum of Military Vehicles, which is probably the better name for it, which is actually the real name. Anyway, aka the Tank Farm, and I'll be bringing you a live report from all the stuffs.
Lay them up on the fender and roll the thing along on wheels. Well, the Americans tried to fuel these vehicles and that really wasn't good. The Russians and the British as well both said this is a pretty good idea. The idea was to cover your target and use flaming pigeon to burn out the oxygen. Subsequently, incapacitate in the bunker. Although the flame didn't hurt any. Now, I'm pretty spectacular standing out here right now. You see?
The Virginia Museum of Military Vehicles is located in Nokesville, which is right near Manassas, Virginia. They have an open house every year, usually in August, and as you can see, their collection spans everything from World War II, the Cold War, all the way up through to the modern era. All their tanks and AFVs and soft skins all brought back 100% in running condition, 100% accurate. Along the weekend, they also have reenactors. They reenact everything from specific battles to tactics, all the way up to battlefield weapons. Some other groups that took part in the fun. Here's a local chapter from the AMPS organization. This is AMPS CV. They had a demonstration set up showing off all their very fine artwork and all their models. Good job, guys. Look at that table full of models with a captive audience. What more could you ask for? And if you look close, I mean really close, not that close, but if you look close, you'll see some fellow SMA forum attendees. There's Model Guru, F. Blanton, and E. Raines. Here Frank's showing off his Studley t-shirt. As you know Frank F. Blanton from the Sci-Fi forum and also the Armor forum. And to his right is E. Raines. You also know him in the Armor forum for his Battlefield ETO Sherman. A good time was had by all this weekend, so if you find yourself in Northern Virginia in August, definitely stop by, give this place a look. At bmmv.com you can find the full schedule. So, from Nokesville, Virginia, the Virginia Museum of Military Vehicles, this is Panzer Ace 007. I'm outta here!
Okay, so recently on the forum there was a question about painting rubber tires. Now there are masks that you can buy for this, and some people even use drafting circle templates to paint the tire first, and then they put the circle template over this and spray the rim. You know, all that stuff works. Sometimes the tire's bulge sticks out too far past the rim and you can't really use the circle template. For me, it's just a simple method of I take some Vallejo thinner, alright, and you gotta make sure this stuff is shook up really well. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a bit of that in my filthy palette here. I clean this every once in a while, but I don't use it enough to justify keeping it really clean. Next, what I'm going to use is some Panzer Ace's dark rubber. It's more of a dark gray. I never use straight black for rubber, whether it be tires or track or anything. In this scale, I like to keep it more on the gray side and not jet black, because I think it looks better for a scale effect. You know, that's up to you. If you want pure black tires, you know, go for it. But personally, I'm in the opinion that a dark gray has a much better scale effect for rubber. So what we do is we mix up a very, very thin bit here. It's more like a filter or a wash, you know, that old 2% milk thing. Because what I want to do is I want to float this color onto the tire and let capillary action do the work for me. I don't have the steadiest hand, so this makes up for it. What will happen is it will flow around the rim. Now granted, it's very thin, so it's not going to cover on the first coat. Okay? You don't want to try to cover on the first coat either. But because it's so thin, it's just going to pull itself around that rim, like you would a pin wash. This way you don't have to have the steadiest hand, and you don't have to be really good with hand painting. It's pretty quick and pretty painless for a hand painting technique. If you look carefully, you can see the gray, this rubber color has drawn itself around that rim completely on its own accord. So you don't even have to get the brush all that close to the rim. And like I said, it's thin, so it's not going to cover all that great. But a second coat will darken, and then, you know, possibly a third coat. You know, this works great if you don't have a masking set or a circle template, or you truly don't mind making multiple applications. Now, I know some guys don't like the idea of using a hairdryer, but I use it all the time, so excuse the noise for a second. But that speeds that process up so well and allows me to continue on with a second coat. Yes, that was the hairdryer crashing to the floor. But as you can see, with a couple of coats, it covers just fine. And there you have it. Painting rubber tires around the rim without a mask.
As for me, I don't have any build video for you this time. I have been working on a 1/35 scale X-Wing. It's the Pro Shop X-Wing. I'm doing a bit of a crazy thing again and inflating the project to the size of a small moon. I'm going to do a forced perspective diorama with this and include some other scale kits receding into the background. So if you want to see that, it's happening at ScaleModelAddict.com/theforum. Once I get into painting these, I'll probably shoot some videos. But for now, just building them up and having fun. What a concept. So what's going to happen next? Next we're going to talk about the group builds. So here are the hosts of the group builds letting you know about the upcoming group builds. Take it away, fellas.
Hello, this is 13 Ace of Spades 13, or Angry Ace 13 as I'm known on YouTube. Down in SMA, we're having an air group build called Navy Marine. It starts October 1st, and you may enter anything that has to do with Navy or Marine Corps. It can be of any era, it can be from any country. So there's really very few limitations. There's a lot of things you can enter. For more details, please go to www.ScaleModelAddict.com and just get ready to have a good time.
Hey all you scale model addicts out there, this is Panzer Ace 007. I'll be your host for the upcoming group build War Wheels. Starting October 1st, going all the way through February 29th. If it had wheels, was used by the military, it's in. And the timeline is from 1861 all the way up to present, so all you arty guys out there that like building your artillery pieces, feel free to bring them to the dance. All scales are welcome, so in this case size does not matter. So anyway, feel free to join us October 1st through February 29th for War Wheels. Come to Scale Model Addict, join in on the fun, and you won't be disappointed.
I'd like to take the opportunity here to announce the startup soon of a new group build over at both ScaleModelAddict.com and at StarShipModeler.com. For the group build, starting on October the 1st and running through February 29th, we'll be doing the Millennium Falcon. Rules are basically simple. The idea here is to build and, in the ensuing 5 months, hopefully complete a model of the Millennium Falcon. Any and all Millennium Falcon kits that are out there are eligible for the build. Doesn't matter if you've already started it. Doesn't matter how much aftermarket you do or if you build it straight out of the box. There's no entry fees. Membership, either over at StarShipModeler or over at Scale Model Addict. both will be participating in the build. You don't have to be a member of both forums, but certainly make it easier to share with both forums if you are. The goal, folks, is to have fun with this, and in the end, you're all going to get a prize, that being a completed model of the Millennium Falcon.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Scale Model Addict. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you got something out of it. Be sure to check out ScaleModeladdict.com/forum. That's where the modeling is happening. It's happening there. People are doing it. So we'll see you next time. I'll be back with another video in the not too distant future. And remember, if you're under 18, there's a juniors forum now, so go over there and sign up and post your stuff, because it's fun. Alright, take care, God bless, we'll see you soon in another video. Later.